St. Louis schools do their part to help Hurricane Helene victims coming up on Lindenwood News.
Plus, Chesterfield Mall is getting demolished this week. We have information and photos from before the demolition.
And millions of pounds of chicken recalled in a listeria scare.
Those stories and more ahead on Lindenwood News. Welcome to this edition of Lindenwood News. I'm Emma Hickerson.
And I'm Tyler Edwards.
A man is killed in a car accident early Tuesday morning in South St. Louis County. St. Louis County police officers responded to a call just after midnight about a man hit by a car on Tesson Ferry Road. Police say the man was taken to the hospital where he later died. They have not released his name. The driver remained on the scene and is cooperating with police. St. Louis area schools are helping to raise money for Hurricane Helene victims. Reed Elementary School raised $3,000 for the victim of Hurricane Helene in a single day. Students were asked to wear their favorite hats to school last Friday in support of the Hats for Hurricane Helene Victims event. The fund will go to the Georgia's Westmont Elementary School. The school's playground suffered major damage from Hurricane Helene.
Demolition on Chesterfield Mall begins this week. This is the first phase of a $2 billion redevelopment process that will pave the way for what officials call downtown St. Charles. City officials say the plan is to have nearly 3,000 apartments with offices, restaurants, grocery, and all centered around a public park. This plan has faced a lot of pushback from the Chesterfield community. Officials say it will take six months to tear down and nearly 10 years for the full project.
Have you ever seen strange coins on paper currency that does not seem to have any use? Well, they might be worth more than you think. Lindenwood News, David Cruz has the story.
This is just a paper dollar bill, but there are also silver dollars and dollar coins. If you took them all to a store, they'd all be worth the same buying power. So what's the actual difference between these coins?
This weekend here at the St. Peter's Parish Center, I intended to answer that question at a local coin show.
The face value right off, right? Anything that we encounter in our change today has a face value, whether that's 1 cent to the nickel, which is 5 cents, all the way up to a dollar coin, right? That's the face value. But then you can look at the intrinsic value, the metal value, that silver and gold that I talked about.
Monetary value is not the only kind of value that can increase the price, though.
But a large cent is about the size of a Sacagawea dollar or a presidential dollar, and those were used from the early days of the United States to 1857. That value today in the marketplace starts at $15, $20 for a little piece of copper. But it has that history and the connection to the past, and there aren't as many of those that are still found today.
While the money part of coins was very fascinating, there was one more personal type of value that I felt was missing. So I decided to go home and ask my father what he felt about his collection.
It started with the, you used to have these little blue books where you could collect all the pennies from a certain year or all the nickels from a certain year. That's probably when I got started.
Most of his collection were from his travels around the world.
Some of my favorite pieces are, I got this set from 50 years of the Great October Socialist Revolution. So these are actually Soviet Union coins, and I like those because I actually went to the Soviet Union.
So currency actually has more than one value. So you might want to go look through your coins and see if anything might be worth more. Back to you guys in the studio.
Straight ahead on Lindenwood News. A woman steals decorations multiple times in the same day. Coming up next, we'll tell you about how the thief was discovered. An international agency says that nearly a third of the border surveillance cameras are not working. A large outage caused around 150 to 500 cameras on the U.S.-Mexico border that went out due to security issue. Officials say that they have repaired some of the cameras, but there are still 100 that are still down. Customs and Border Patrol say that they have installed nearly 300 new towers that advance technology and will continue improving security.
Pro-Palestinian students hold a march in the streets at DePaul University, causing severe traffic for miles. The students are having a memorial with baby bottles filled with symbolic blood with 1,000 shoes on display to represent the lives that were lost. They chose to march during rush hour to be seen by more people. They hope their demonstration prevents more deaths.
A year after 18 people were killed and 13 injured in a mass shooting, families are coming forward with 100 individual lawsuits. Lawyers say they plan on suing the Defense Department, the Army, and Keller Army Community Hospital in Westport, New York. They claim they didn't respond to warning signs and threats the gunman Robert Card made months before the October 5th shooting. 4 law firms will be representing the families.
A South City thief steals Halloween decorations twice in one day. This video was taken on the homeowner's Ring camera of the woman returning to their home multiple times. The owner says she couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the woman had then returned again, but in new clothes. The woman stole a total of $800 worth of decorations. Police are now looking into the case.
Major retailers to be affected by 10 million pounds of chicken being recalled. Last week, Bryce Peg issued a recall for their poultry as the USDA found traces of Listeria in the ready-to-eat chicken. Listeria infection can be deadly for older Americans, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems. Symptoms such as fever, muscle aches, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions. Consumers and retailers ask you to check the FSIS website for future updates and other possible recalled items.
The upcoming forecast shows a potential for tornadoes. We'll tell you the latest after this break. Welcome to weather. I'm Elizabeth Boaz. That blue line you'll see here on the upper left is a strong cold weather making its way through the northern parts of the western region. And those green blobs are going to indicate light rain. Down the west coast is going to be getting plenty of rain due to the cold weather and warm weather continuously crashing. And those dotted lines indicate heavier, cool, wet weather is on the way, heading east. The rest of the nation will be having neutral weather due to its neutral winds. The sun is going to help with the cool weather Thursday morning in St. Peters. In St. Charles it's 49 degrees, in Maryland Heights it's 48, and in St. Louis it's 50. In O'Fallon it's currently 48 degrees, in St. Peters it's 49. The next few days are going to be bright and sunny, with Thursday having a high of 67 and a low of 39. Friday is going to have a high of 71 and a low of 46. Saturday we'll see a high of 73 and a low of 49. The last 2 days will be partially cloudy, having Sunday see a high of 75 and a low of 50, leaving Monday with a high of 76 and a low of 56 degrees. That's it for weather. Now to Jia with sports.
A Kansas City soccer player is breaking records this week. More on how she did this after the break. Welcome to Lindenwood Sports. I am Jia Buck. Lindenwood men's ACHA hockey team swept the Maryville Showcase, winning all 3 of their games. The Lions first took on University of Missouri on October 10th, winning 8-2. Then Lions won 5-2 against the Maryville Saints. And in their final game against the Arkansas Razorbacks, the Lions won 11-3. This raises the men's ACHA hockey season record to 6-1 going into their next games. A KC Currents player is breaking National Women's Soccer League single-season goal record. Timwa Chainga's record-breaking goal is a result of her stealing the ball from a Bay FC defender. This was her 19th goal of the season. The forward's goal won the game for her team 1-0 and also made KC Current the 4th team to score 50 goals in a season. The Kansas City Chiefs are set to go up against San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium this Sunday. In a Super Bowl 58 rematch, the Chiefs have 3 members out of play due to injuries. A wide receiver, Rashee Rice, is out for the rest of the season after surgery on his right knee. Mike Dana is out due to a pectoral injury, and running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire is recovering from an undisclosed illness. This places the odds in favor of the 49ers with a 1.5 favorite. Back to you, Emma.
Families and community members gather for the Child Care Aware Walk fundraiser. This event is raising both awareness and support for quality early child care. Tyler Edwards has more on how they're doing this.
Every step counts in the fight for quality child care. I am here at the Child Care Aware Walk fundraiser, where community members unite to support a brighter future for our kids. Let's dive into the stories and impact that make this an incredible day.
The Child Care Aware of Missouri's Walk fundraiser is an annual event dedicated to raising awareness and support for accessible, quality child care in our communities today. Misty O'Keefe, who's on staff for Child Care Aware of Missouri's Walk fundraiser, says the event highlights the first 2,000 days of a child's life.
We as an organization was reviewing our mission, vision, values, and our new tagline. And our new tagline is 2,000 days to make a difference, because the first 2,000 days of a child's life are the most important.
The Child Care Aware Walk fundraiser is an event dedicated to help employers understand how to support their employees that need childcare. Misty O'Keefe says they started with around 20 people and that the event has grown over time.
We started with mostly just staff and board, so it was about 25, 30. We were pretty light. We are close to 100 now. That includes board, staff, prior members. It involves the community and some early child care educators also.
We had a chance to speak with some community members and see how their lives have been impacted.
I personally really enjoyed working with the local businesses in the area to get items for our auction baskets, which you can see behind us. So I worked with dozens of people around the St. Louis and St. Charles and Creve Coeur area.
Knowing that what these people are doing, this organization is doing, and how my little 4-year-old is being impacted by it directly, and just watching her see all the people here and just growing, and everybody seeing her grow and knowing that they really are directly impacting her with the resources for child care providers.
This event has not only raised awareness, but has strengthened community bonds. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Tyler Edwards with Lindenwood News.
That's it for this edition of Lindenwood News.
Thanks for joining us.
Update.